A couple weeks ago, I was watching, my favorite dystopian fantasy, The Handmaid's Tale. I don't know how many of you are fans of that. It's pretty dark. And in the midst of this really dark vision of a future, here comes this cheery ad for Thrive Market. It's bright, it's refreshing, it sends delicious, healthy food to my door. It's quite a contrast. I'd kind of like to imagine a world in which Thrive Market is our dystopian overlord, say, and the simple act of citizenship results in citizenship being donated elsewhere as well. We're not at that point yet, but Thrive itself is cruising, getting ready to move into frozen alongside the dry goods it sold for the past few years, seeing consumers move to e-commerce to intercept a platform that was considered far ahead of its time when it launched. So we have one of the leading ambassadors and one of the first pioneers from Thrive Country here, and that's Jeremiah Mcelwee. He's the company's Senior VP of Merchandising and Product Development, and basically he drives the vision of the array of products that are offered on Thrive Market. Please welcome him.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Great to be here. Yeah, so any great dystopian leader would certainly, if they're benevolent, take you from the city out to a beautiful forest right now, right? So I wanted to start my presentation by taking you on a little journey that we've been on. I'll talk a lot today about mission and a lot about Thrive Market and how we support brands and how we fulfill our core mission, but buried within that core mission are countless other missions that we've made a primary focus of what we do. So let's take a journey to the forest, if we could roll the video.
When I'm out in the woods walking, I'm always looking down at all the small things, the leaves on the forest floor, all the shadows. And what I'm thinking about is how the forest is functioning, how species of trees relate to one another and what purpose they're fulfilling. I feel peaceful, calm. I think there's a certain sense of knowing how insignificant I really am. The forest is something that becomes part of your soul.
The trees are breathing in carbon dioxide and then breathing out oxygen. 1 acre of forest can remove thousands of pounds of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere every year.
This forest has 187,876 acres.
This forest right here helps to offset Thrive Market's carbon emissions.
Environmental responsibility is important to us here at Thrive. We embrace our responsibilities by recycling the cardboards, the plastics, anything that is recyclable.
Ensuring that everything in your box is sustainable, even the box itself. What we can't yet reduce, we offset. So we've chosen this forest to go the full amount.
So every time you shop at Thrive Market, you make good things possible.
And you are making healthy choices for your family and the environment.
We know you have high expectations, and we're committed to making the right choices for your standards and for ours.
Thank you. Thanks. We're very proud to announce that we were the first online e-commerce retailer to go zero waste to landfill. It was something that we realized early on that our core mission, which I'll talk about here today, is making healthy living affordable for all Americans. But we realized in the process of that, we need to be vertical. We need to be holistic. We need to think through all levels of the supply chain, whether that's farmers, people who grow food, people who we're selling food from, brands, but also what happens after? What happens after the products arrive at your door? So I'll talk a lot about whys today. And one of the first why questions I wanted to answer today was around e-commerce and online grocery retail. For those of you like me who have been doing this for way too long already, I'm in my 25th year in the natural and organic space. For so long, we thought, online grocery, that's never going to happen. It's in the future. It'll never be here. Well, we're here now, and it's a really exciting time. And this number here is one of the more exciting that we have, which is, roughly 70% of consumers will be shopping online. And as that shift happens, we're driving explosive growth in the space. And it's interesting. In my personal career, I've woven a path through retail with big retailers and brick and mortar, and then online happened, and we kind of were able to pick up that torch. What was surprising to us, and Jeff alluded to it, is we've been on this rocket ship, and we didn't realize how much of a void we would be filling and how quickly, and it's been very exciting to see. And you can see that reflected in just the share impact we're having in the space and within Spin. So that part has been incredibly rewarding and exciting. And it's in large part to this community that we've built. And the community consists of millions of value-conscious customers. Interestingly enough, and I added some demographic information here, not surprising, 88% are female women. 45% live in the Midwest and South, which was surprising to us. As much as we knew our core mission and we knew we had to reach the previously unreachable, whether that was economic or geographic, we in our hearts thought, well, we'll probably just cannibalize existing natural, right? We'll probably be concentrated in the major metro areas or something like that. It turns out we're not. We really are reaching folks who aren't within a 100-mile radius of a natural product store, which is really exciting for us to see. About half of our audience do have children at home, so we're reaching a lot of parents, conscious parents. We also recently launched a Facebook Insiders group for Thrive Market members only, and we are learning so much about our audience. But one thing that won't surprise many of you, I'm sure, is one key thing we've learned is they're diverse. I mean, they're all groups represented, but they're also leaders. We're talking about leaders in their family, leaders in their community, people who evangelize, people who talk about food, talk about why they're shopping organic, why they believe in fair trade, and how powerful is that? So how do we do it, and why, and how? We work with hundreds of influencers who are passionate about our mission. So interestingly enough, and if you've heard anything about us, you probably heard our CEO, Nick Green, talk about how we were rejected by over 50 VC firms early on for investment. And subsequently, we had to do a TAC and figure out, how are we going to raise money? How are we going to launch this business? And we ended up going to influencers. Mark Sisson, whose picture is here, was one of our first investors. And from there, we built out this network of influencer investors, all who were value aligned and very passionate about our mission, and they educate our consumers. So why? Why Thrive? What makes us different? And we've already talked about it. Seth did an amazing job, and Jeff mentioned it as well. But we really felt that if we're going to broaden this mission, we have to set even a higher bar of quality standards that's ever been set for a retailer. And I had to laugh as Seth was talking because it is really hard. And that's a recurring theme that we face all the time. And we say no a lot more than we say yes. But highest ingredient and ethical supply chain standards, one of the things that we've gotten a lot of traction on was that our products are tagged with over 140 values and certifications. So this emerging kind of food tribe culture that's happening really has gravitated to our environment because you can sort very easily on an icon and find the products you're looking for. We are curated, so we have less noise, less products. Like I mentioned a second ago, we say no a lot more than we say yes, which really highlights your brand and highlights the brands that we do stock in a much more positive light. There's not as much noise for the member. And then we back it up, as I mentioned a second ago, with really rich content from influencers and experts that inspires and educates. Again, our core mission, making healthy living easy and affordable for every American family. And the most rewarding part, I think, about that is the love letters we get. We get so many amazing testimonials and love letters from our audience, literally telling us that either A, they could never find gluten-free products, plant-based products, products that can help with special diet needs that are in their family, that are a real crucial concern for the people in their family, their children, their husbands and wives, their grandparents, but also that they just couldn't afford it before. And with our model of lowering the price points and being highly competitive in a membership model, we're able to really solve for all of those. And these are just some images of actual Thrive Gives members. So for every paid member that joins, if you're not aware, we donate a free membership to a lower income family, teacher, military veteran, or first responder. So we have, which I'll talk about in this, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And again, we want that to be an authentic mission. We want to be inclusive. We want everybody to have a seat at the table and have the ability to afford healthy food. Access is the key issue. So these are the foundations we live by every day, both for our members, but then to our partners. Many of you are in the room or will be, hopefully, in the room, and that's part of what I wanted to share today to give you an idea of who we are and what we're about, because we love entrepreneurial startup brands. We love partnering early. We love telling your story. So you can kind of see we're deeply committed to that with our members. Whoops. And I went dark. Oh, there we go. And our members are responding to that. They're very excited about us. We get a lot of love on social media. And so I wanted to quickly talk about some partnership opportunities. I'm going to talk kind of quickly and move fast because we have limited time. And I know Jeff has some great questions as well. We really value long-term strategic partnerships. And it's a goal. Without you all, without brand owners, founders, CEOs, we don't have a retail outlet, right? So super important, and we made it an early kind of promise going back 4 years ago before we even launched to be a true win-win partner. So all of these pillars that you see listed here are different ways that we've committed to helping launch brands, blow up brands, really get brands out into the consciousness for both our members but a broader audience. And part of what we all have realized, especially those of us who focused in brick and mortar, is how hard that is and how expensive it is to really get your message out to a broader audience. And at Thrive, we can help circumvent that and help you save a lot of money while also driving sales. So what could be more of a win-win? So these are just some of the different ways. And I put up just some examples that we've done here. We have featured deal pages. We're seeing incredible lift from these promotions and incredible reaction from our members. They're really seeing them. They're sharing them. They're talking about them. We launched a program called Thrive Cash, which allows us to give credit to our members for brands without reducing your price points, without kind of the feedback brands always have is like, we don't want to be seen as a discount brand, which totally respect, because we're not selling discount products, right? We're selling some of the highest quality products in the world. Well, Thrive Cash is a way we can give somewhat of a rebate without lessening the impact of price on the product, but still honoring that mission for our members. New products have just been absolutely incredible. For us, for our audience, and just driving sales and how we can partner with brands. one thing that I love to share about Thrive all the time that makes us different, because people often ask me, what makes Thrive so unique versus all of your competitors? We're totally vertical at Thrive. We do everything you see from us in-house. So that includes content, fulfillment, member services, all of our technology. Everything comes from Thrive Market. We're up to around 400 team members now. So that includes our 2 fulfillment centers, one in Batesville, Indiana, one in Reno, Nevada. And everyone, what's really refreshing, is deeply committed to the mission. So we've got talent from all these areas of expertise that we've accumulated, and everyone is there for the right reasons and very passionate about what our core mission is. And that is powerful when you come together. So subsequently, we spend a lot of time talking to brands, talking to supply chain, working with farmers, telling stories, which is, again, not to continue to date myself, but many years ago, going into the local food co-op and seeing, pictures of Cascadian farms or different brand stories was literally why I personally fell in love with our industry. So being able to replicate that in the digital space and share with millions of people instead of just me with scraggly hair walking into a health food store, looking and going, oh, yay, I want to buy that brand, is so much more powerful and so much more compelling. So, and as you would imagine, we're able to leverage all these different parts of the site to really keep giving impressions to people where they are and organically find said impressions, which is exciting. So this is actually a slide from our marketing team, and what's really fun too is they'll work with you. So we get all kinds of ideas, and a lot of what you see evolve on our site comes from brands, comes from folks with an idea. How about we do this with you guys? How about we? And one thing that's super refreshing too is we say yes. We're like, yes, let's do it. It's such a yes environment and moves very quickly. So that said, what remains the core of everything we do is our mission. And I mentioned our bigger mission earlier, and our mission to go to zero, but we also started about 2 years ago, started a campaign at checkout where we allowed members to donate, similar to what you would do at a brick and mortar retailer, right? When you're checking out, you can donate your change, you can donate any extra money you have at checkout. We set it up so you could donate your savings. So save a lot of money, but you're like, hey, I'd rather give that to another family or I'd rather give that to another cause. Go ahead. We have that environment set up. What, again, was surprising to us was how committed our community is to that concept. So we quickly raised over $1 million. And then subsequently, we're now up to, we crossed $1 million last July. We're now up to around 1.5, and we just keep donating back in. And what's beautiful about that is we're able to say yes to a lot of causes, a lot of folks who have great vision around how to impact their community and create positive change. But the biggest thing we've been able to do is Thrive Disaster Relief. So we've been able to donate to Houston. We've been able to donate to Puerto Rico. We're able to donate to places that are in the most desperate need. And that's both through donating food, literally food. And in this case, you can see that bottom right picture was pallets of diapers. We heard from the Houston food banks they needed diapers more than anything. So we sent multiple pallets and in addition to cash and in addition to donations. So for us, it was more about, okay, how do we take this broad mission and then how do we also have impact locally in communities? Because we don't have stores everywhere, but we want to support all kinds of causes all around the world. So it's been super exciting and really rewarding, and in large part to many of you in the room. We have both amazing brands we sell. We also have investors and advisors in the room here today. And I mostly just wanted to appreciate you all, appreciate NOSH for giving us this platform, and appreciate everyone for being a Thrive member and joining our community. So thank you.
Jeremiah, thank you so much for just coming in and bringing that spirit. And it's amazing to see Thrive walk it like it talks it. And one of the things that we talked about when we were getting ready for this is this idea that, you know, coming in from Whole Foods and with a big team that sort of migrated to this platform, you guys all felt like you had a chance to reinvent this part of the industry. What needed fixing?
You know, I mean, I think, listen, I mean, I had an amazing run at Whole Foods. I had such an enjoyable time and met so many great friends, lifelong friends there. So I don't know that it was fixing as much as it was any business has a natural arc. And as you scale, it gets harder and harder to keep your core focus and keep to what you're about. And so as that gets spread out, you have a bigger impact, which is quite amazing and profound. But some of that direct connection with humans gets lost. And so I think what's interesting about the digital space and Thrive specifically is you have less material overhead, if you will. So you're able to form more of those direct connections, and you're able to share them in a community much more rapidly, so you can have that big impact in a much smaller amount of time, which is really exciting. On the brand level, super exciting. I tell folks as an old brick and mortar retailer that imagine I can immediately reach your audience, the people who want to find your products, hundreds of thousands of them, if not millions, with an email or with a connected, targeted message to them and show them. Imagine the power to do that in a store, right? You put up a display and you hope people walk by it, and you never know who did or didn't, and you don't know if the right people were there that day or if it was stocked or if it had the right sign or if the price was even right on the sign. So it's really powerful, and as an old retail geek, it's like very exciting because.
But you guys have to then build in these sort of hardline things that are accepted parts of brick and mortar, like frozen, like refrigerated. Now you've added frozen,
yep,
or you're adding frozen. Is refrigerated following, and how did these items kind of change the game?
Yeah, no, we realized, again, the amazing part of digital is that instant feedback, right? So we realized early on we have this feedback loop. I mean, our members tell us immediately what they like or don't like, and with the insiders group, it's even more pronounced, right? I mean, they're telling us, you know, we had to warn our team as we opened it up. There is some negatives in there, so be ready for the negative feedback too. Don't take it personally.
Negative feedback online?
We have passionate, yeah, right. Internet trolls? No. But, I mean, the interesting thing is we heard almost immediately, okay, we love this. We love, but we can't get dairy. We can't get meat and seafood. We can't get all these other categories that we'd love to shop, but we want to shop them with your quality standards, Thrive. We don't want, we love what some other online folks are doing in the space, but we want what Thrive would bring us because we know you guys have the highest benchmark. So we recently expanded into frozen, starting with meat and seafood. We felt there was a big opportunity there to raise the bar again and go even further into animal welfare guidelines and really have a high quality product. But the vision after that is to continue to roll out and continue to move into other categories, other spaces. The thing about us, though, is we want to get it right. So if we take a long time sometimes, I mean, long time, we're fast, but we take a long time to test and make sure we're providing the best experience or else we won't do it. So we have a lot of other exciting categories. I don't want to tip my hand too much, but we have some really fun stuff coming down the pike.
So we're disrupting, or you're disrupting, this sort of traditional path to market through brick and mortar, and we're seeing that happening online. For brands here that are planning launch and scale, how does this sort of broadening of channel affect, how should it affect their plans?
You know, again, I think it's just very exciting, right? I mean, there's this opportunity that brands have now that didn't exist previously, where you can reach millions of consumers very quickly with low spend. And that's, you know, any entrepreneur's dream, right, is to be able to do that. And so I think thinking about, the other way to think about it too is you're able to target very specifically how you want to go to market. And so you're also able to subsequently create specific packaging, create specific products, create specific ideas that could even honor part of your brand vision or part of your brand architecture that maybe you didn't imagine when you were just thinking of a conventional category and a shelf space, which is one of the most exciting things to me, is reimagining what you're bringing to your audience.
What are the trade-offs for brands, though? So you have to be incredibly nimble and willing to tear up a package
Exactly.
size. What else are you seeing?
You know, I mean, people ask me that often, like, what's the biggest challenge been in the conversion? I think it's speed. I mean, I think that expectation and that responding to trends, responding to what's happening in the marketplace is heightened and accelerated in the online environment. So to your point, you have to be willing to jump. You have to be willing to go for it. You have to be willing to take a chance. However, the beautiful part of it is, as I shared early in the presentation, the upside is huge and massive, and it's not a trend, it's the future. So when you kind of know that, that's one of the things we encourage brands, even legacy brands. We're like, hey, get into online, work with us on this innovative packaging concept or product concept, because it's going to serve you for many, many years to come. It'll be your future as well for your brand. And so not having that fear, but having that excitement about what's to come.
Well, good luck with the future, Jeremiah.
Thank
you. We
you, sir.
appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,